Hello. This is your narrator this evening, Sir Skeletones. I am going to tell you 6 micropastas for your listening pleasure. Enjoy. And don't forget to tuck your feet under your blankets. First micropasta is called new cell phone. A couple of months ago, my friend's cousin, a single mother, bought a new cell phone. After a long day of work, she came home, placed her phone on the counter, and went to watch TV. Her son came to her and asked if he could play with her new phone. She told him not to call anyone or mess with text messages, and he agreed. At around 11:20, she was drowsy, so she decided to tuck her son in and go to bed. She walked to his room and saw that he wasn't there. She then ran over to her room to find him sleeping on her bed with a phone in his hand. Relieved, she picked her phone back up from his hand to inspect it. Browsing through it, she noticed only minor changes such as a new background, banner, etc., but then she opened up her saved pictures. She began deleting the pictures he had taken until only one new picture remained. When she first saw it, she was in disbelief. It was her son sleeping on her bed, but the picture was taken by someone else above him. And it showed the left half of an elderly woman's face. Now, dear listeners, I have a question for you. Do you ever wonder where old sayings come from? Most of these are associated with one's grandparents, but many of them go back even farther than that. Let's explore one such example, shall we? The second tale tonight is titled, An Apple a Day. Have you ever heard the expression, an apple a day keeps the doctor away? Most assume, with no reason to think otherwise, that it is simply an easy-to-remember rhyme that stresses the importance of eating healthy foods to young children, but the saying did not originate as a harmless reminder. It was born in a frontier town in the early years of the gold rush, where food was scarce and money even scarcer. One August, when a bad drought had struck the region, a series of bloody killings swept through the town. Every night, a single house would be broken into, and anyone who saw the invader would be swiftly, brutally slain. Nothing was ever stolen, except for a few scraps of food. After 2 weeks of this, the local grocer set out a few apples and a glass of milk in the town square overnight. He then hid in the tower of the church, hoping to catch a glimpse of anyone who came by. Fighting fatigue, the grocer waited for any sign of life below. Just after midnight, he was rewarded by a chilling sight. A man, carrying a black bag, stuffed with dully shining metal tools and covered from head to foot in cloth bandages, staggered into view. He paused at the sight of the apples and milk, then whipped his head around, as if looking for the one who dared to patronize him. Seized with fear, the grocer ducked out of sight, staying hidden till sunrise. The strange man had only taken one of the apples and didn't even touch the glass of milk. No houses were broken into, and no one was killed. For decades, the town continued to place out an apple or two every night, even long after a single apple stopped disappearing. My friends, are you alone right now? Are you sitting in front of your computer, or perhaps laying in bed with your phone, listening to these little tales? You might want to check around yourself. This is the third story, titled 3 a.m. Have you ever woken up only to find there was someone staring at you? It happens to people all the time on trains, buses, planes, and in public places. In fact, studies have shown that this instinctive response is a highly evolved defense mechanism of the subconscious mind, alerting your senses to the presence of a potential threat. Many other species in the animal kingdom possess similar traits, which prove beneficial to survival. Given this, you might want to consider quickly pulling your curtains closed and shutting your door the next time you instinctively wake up at 3 a.m. That is, of course, if it is not already inside your room. The next story, my dear listeners, involves elevators. Up and down, constantly going where the writer desires. Most get in and out of them without thinking too much about it. After hearing this story though, I bet you will think twice. This is the 4th floor. In the apartment complex where I now live, there's a story about a girl who lived in one of the buildings. She lived on the 7th floor and used to go home late because she was working on her thesis and her school was a bit far from her place. The story goes, every time she would take the elevator, it would stall on the 4th floor. The sliding doors wouldn't open or anything, but there would be this feeling of pressure on the elevator as if someone would step in and join her. Do you know the feeling of having someone stand next to you and stare at you, even though you couldn't see them? Apparently, this would happen to her each time. In fact, it got so bad that one particular night, she asked her mother if she could wait for her in the lobby and accompany her upstairs. Her mom, of course, agreed. The girl arrived home later than usual that night, say around 3 a.m. Thankfully, her mother was at the lobby waiting for her like she promised. They entered the elevator together, and when the elevator paused on the 4th floor, the girl looked to her mother and said, "See what I mean? It always happens." The older woman, in an effort to comfort her daughter, wrapped an arm around her shoulder and leaned in, right before whispering, "Do I really look like your mother?" The next day, they found the slumped form of the girl in the elevator, alone. She was dead. There were no marks on her body, and on her face was a look of pure horror. Have you ever heard the saying, "Wipe that look off your face"? Well, my dear listeners, what if you could not? This next tale is titled, Grinning. This morning, I stepped out of the shower and the bathroom was fine. White walls, white tiles, sink and counter with toothpaste crusted all over. 3 out of the 4 light bulbs over the mirror were still good. 100-watt, clear bulbs, blinding bright in the small white room. Like always, I was late, so I skipped shaving. She liked it when I didn't shave, anyway. I was thinking about doing mutton chops. She'd get a kick out of that. I passed the mirror and noticed I was grinning. I didn't even know I was grinning. I'm in the bathroom tonight before bed and there is something wrong with the lights. All 3 are on again, but they glow kind of brown and do not really light up the rest of the room. I should get more bulbs from the kitchen. I should, but I am busy. The date was shit, and she shut her apartment door on me. You would think that would wipe off the stupid grin from this morning, but I came back to the bathroom and, in the mirror, my face was still doing it. If I touch my face, it does not feel like a grin, but there it is in the mirror. In the brown light, it is hard to make out, but... Have you ever actually counted how many teeth show when you smile? I lean in close. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did not know my mouth was so wide. 9, 10, 11. I cannot do mutton chops after all. The corners of my lips are out to my ears. It still doesn't feel like a grin. But I keep counting for curiosity. 36, 37, 38. The final story this evening asks you, the listener, a question that might make you a little uncomfortable, depending on what time of the day it is. Good thing your room isn't dark right now, right? This story is called Lights On. Have you ever noticed how, when sitting in your room at night with the lights on, it's difficult to see out your window? The brighter the light, the more opaque the reflection of your room is. You could put your face close to the glass and see out, but why? You're in your room with all the lights on, surfing the net. Nothing to worry about. Then again, it is kind of creepy when you think about it. You, staring at your computer screen, totally absorbed, all the while anyone or anything could be just on the other side of that pane of glass, watching you. Silently. But of course, you could just turn off the lights and look out, dispelling any creeping feeling that may be rising up in you. Unless there was something out there. And you just removed the only barrier that blocked its entrance. And there you have it, folks. What did you think of tonight's tales? I do hope you enjoyed yourselves. Thank you and good night.